Hello, Rory Dales here from Kano Piano, and today we're going to look at Chopin's Prelude in A minor, Opus 28, number 7.
Kano Piano, cultivate, create, communicate.
So what an incredibly short and charming but well-known piece. I mean, there's no wonder that it's so well-known. Here it goes. So I have to admit, I've actually never played this or performed this piece myself, and I'm so surprised because it is so well known. Maybe it's something that I sight read through once as a student or something, but just playing through it there, I mean, I can, it's just so charming, isn't it? So let's see, I mean, do we get started on the notes or do we get started in the interpretation and the charm? Well, let's see, I mean, we do have andantino, so a little bit faster than an andante, a walking pace. We're in the key of A major. We've got 3 beats in a bar piano and then dolce, and I think the magic is in the dolce. These repeated notes, seem to hold with them a certain sort of tension, and then there they are. Here's the next set, and then this change. We'll come to that. That's a fun part. And then a little bit more change, a little more direction in the alto voice. And then the end. And so I think that's a really good starting place for this piece because that is probably the key feature and characteristic of this piece. Those 3 repeated notes, you keep the pedal on, and just how you kind of play those, the interpretation that you bring to those, I think, really determines the beauty of this piece. So that might sound like a lot of pressure. Well, what do you mean? I mean, how do I play those notes? Well, I mean, the first thing is, just playing them like Russian dolls, so it's like bigger doll, slightly less, and then baby doll. This is a really useful technique, by the way, for learning about tonal decay on the piano, which is the secret to be able to playing Chopin well and cantabile and just the piano well in general, actually. Because the nature of the note, of course, is for it to always start louder and get softer. That's the nature of the piano tonal decay. It's not like, a string instrument or a voice where you can go and get really loud and then get very soft again. It doesn't do that. It just gets softer. So, you want to be able to learn how to join notes together. That's the key to being able to play a beautiful cantabile, a beautiful flowing line of Chopin. And this is a really good little piece, almost like an exercise for that, because you have to learn how to judge those. The first note was getting softer. I then matched the next one, and then I matched the next one to that decay. And it sounds like so expressive. And yeah, it is, but like basically what I'm doing, sorry to kind of give the magic game away, but it's that. It's just listen and then place, and then listen and place. Russian doll effect. So let's see then. You want to go through the piece, playing all those Russian dolls. And some of them have got certain rhetorical effects where, you might want to pause a little bit on one of them. Slow down more on another. So if you've got this at the start, then here we might pause a little bit more on the last one. I don't know if you caught that. Then here, my bad. Let's see. That's a little different. I made, strong, fairly strong, and then a lot weaker. Again, a different sort of effects, and then I can maybe even accent the last one a little bit more, and then I can accent the second one, and then hide the third one, and then here it's just a crescendo. You have to get that A in the thumb. And then here, I'd say it's diminuendo, just because that lovely romantic phrase. And then here, I think a lot more kind of serene, very soft pianissimo, maybe delay the last one. Those are just some ideas, but hopefully that gives you something to play with so that you're not bored by this piece. And I say that because, you can see how, because it's so repetitive, if you're just kind of playing it quite robotically and mechanically, you're going to get bored of this very, very quickly. You're not going to really move yourself or your audience. So those little nuances, those little rhetorical inflections, which sort of change the tone of voice, as it were, that I think is key to being able to play this piece really beautifully. Now let's come to this tricky part. For those of you who are playing this, you get what I mean. This is an awkward little stretch. You can see my hands there. Oh. There. You can see my hands in the overhead here. And what I'm doing here, I'd recommend you get comfortable with this chord. This is the most challenging part in the piece. And the way I go about that is by saying the letter names of the chord from the bottom up. For example, F sharp, C sharp, E, F sharp, A sharp, A sharp, E, A sharp, and then C sharp. Like that. The thumb catches both the A sharp and the C sharp. You can see that spreading across. And you should be able to find that. Test yourself. Take your hands away. Shake them, whatever you need to do. But then bring them back up and see if you can find that, because that's bringing it into your RAM, I like to call it, like short-term memory. You don't have time to be getting out the external hard drive at that stage to find that note. It has to be just there ready to go. There it is. And of course, the other challenge, even if you get that, is to be able to go from there to there. So that's going to require practice. Again, you can start off saying the notes out loud from the bottom: A, E, A, C sharp, E, A, C sharp is an A major chord, isn't it? And then practicing going from there to there. So the way to do that is to, first of all, say them out loud, but then to shadow the notes, which basically means play the first one, and then don't play the next one, but just cover the chord, ready to go. Repeat.